Ich stehe hier neben Chris Roberts, dem Schöpfer von Wing Commander, der gerade an Star Citizen arbeitet. Und da möchte ich jetzt einfach mal wissen, wie steht's denn momentan um das Kickstarter-finanzierte Weltraumspiel? Chris, thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me on camera here.
Chris, your Kickstarter campaign, or your crowdfunding campaign just kicked up to $10 million. Can you give us an update what's happening with this insane amount of money?
Well, so on the $10 million, we were committing to building our own motion capture studio.
Okay.
So a full performance capture, so think like what they did for Avatar. Mm-hmm. So we just hit that. We actually did the purchase order on Monday, which was when we hit the 10 million, and actually the equipment's already being shipped out to us, and we're actually looking for a location to actually put the studio in Austin, but it's going to be great. I mean, we'll be able to put a lot more incremental sort of story content in the game, because otherwise you'd have to, like, if you don't have your own motion capture studio, you sort of wait, save up all the stuff you need, and then go and do a shoot there. Mm-hmm. And then we were thinking, well, in the long term, if we're doing lots of content and we want to have a lot of updates, like eventually once the game's live we're going to do, mm-hmm. then if you have your own one, it makes it much easier, and ultimately it'll be cheaper. So we're really excited. So thank you to everyone out there that helped us get that. Thank you very much. We have the best community ever, and I can only say thank you.
Unfortunately, you're not showing Star Citizen on the E3, so we only had the opportunity to meet here. But what's your next milestone? Are you going to show the game on Gamescom?
Yes, we're definitely showing Gamescom. In fact, we're gonna premiere the hangar module, which allows you in the engine to walk around your ship or ships that you've bought, mm-hmm. get inside them, check them out, and also invite your friends to your hangar and sort of have them look at your ship and do some level of customization. So it'll be the first time that visually you'll be able to see and interact with your ship, and I think people will really like that. Mm-hmm. It's a good developmental process for us. It'll be the first stage. At the end of the year, we're going to do the dogfighting module, which will then let you take those same ships and dogfight other people or AI, and don't have the full persistent universe, don't have the story just yet, but helping us balance it, helping us test it, get rid of configuration issues, because we've got this great community, and so it's a fantastic resource that we want to use. And Gamescom felt the right place for us, because it felt, we're about the game player and the consumer. So, E3 didn't feel right. First of all, obviously the next generation consoles mm-hmm. will take a lot of noise, but it's a trade show, mm-hmm. and that's not for us. We basically go straight to the game player, and that's what Gamescom's all about. And then on top of that, Germany is very near and dear to my heart and our hearts. It's outside of the US, it's by far the biggest participant in Star Citizen, and relatively, it's actually per capita helped us more than even than the US. So thank you again, everyone. It's such a great PC community. People love PCs. They like playing, online. Love sci-fi. So probably some of the last bastion of where you get sci-fi, space sims is Germany. So it's a great. So Gamescom's felt really good. We have a really strong European base, even outside of Germany. France, Italy, Scandinavia, England. But it felt that would be a great place to do the preview, and hopefully we can do something together at Gamescom. You can, we'll show you the stuff, and it'll be fun. So we're really looking forward to that. That'll be actually my very first Gamescom. So I'm kind of excited at being something that's that big.
Well, that's going to be fun, and we're looking forward to seeing the game again, of course. You're currently building your studio infrastructure. You talked about the motion capturing studio currently building. So how are you progressing in developing the game? Can you already foresee a window for release for the launch of the game, for the first one?
So we're still shooting for the same schedule that we talked about, mm-hmm. Which is essentially by the end of 2014, mm-hmm. you'll be able to play the full persistent universe and game. There'll be sort of the beta for our backers, so there'll still probably be some balancing and stuff, and then as we go on, that'll probably shift to an open beta where more people can come in, mm-hmm. and then after that it will be the full game, which will probably be the very beginning of 2015. But by the end of 2014, you should be venturing around the full persistent universe. Mm-hmm. It just may need some more balancing and tweaking, but we're doing this that's the whole point of doing like the hangar and the dogfighting, and then we've got another module which we call the planet side module, which is sort of down on the planet, the social interaction. Mm-hmm. Talking to people in a bar or going to a shop and buying and selling stuff. We're sort of rolling them out in pieces, so the community that's backed it, not only do they get to see us building stuff behind the scenes, but they actually get to try bits of the game out along the way and give their feedback and thoughts, and we listen to it listen to everyone. So it's great to get feedback. It's awesome to have such a committed, enthusiastic community. And we think that by doing that, first of all, everyone that's back will have stuff to do and have fun. But also by the time we get to saying, okay, it's finally done, it'll be a much more polished game because we'll have balanced and tested, and we'll have dealt with configuration issues. So even for the Hangar module, we have to do boring things like, okay, well, how are we delivering the client? How are we going to patch it? So all those systems that normally when you do a big game, an online game, you sort of work on all these systems and then you try it out at the end, and then obviously a lot of things have to be fixed or are broken. We're doing them along the way in pieces. So hopefully by the time we get to the full thing, a lot of it's already been road tested, so to speak. So it should be a smoother process. So that's the idea, and it's kind of exciting, and it's kind of fun, a little scary because normally you keep everything and make sure it's all perfect before it goes out. But I think our community is really great. So I think they want to be part of that, and it's hard not to want to involve them and respect everyone's opinions because they love this genre so much that they gave money 2 years before they could play the final game. So if that isn't commitment, I don't know what is. So from my standpoint, I feel like that I would much rather have that dialogue than a dialogue with a publishing executive. So for me, even though it's a bit scary, it's a lot of fun.
Well, I've been browsing our forums this morning, and there are people who said, hey, I've given like 400 euros for Star Citizen, and I'm even prepared to give more. But there are also people who've got one single worry, because you've announced that you're going to sell spaceships to people for money. And those people, the worry of those people is about, hey, isn't that going to be pay to win when I can buy the bigger spaceship and just blast away everybody?
No. So okay, but then this all comes down to what people's definition of pay to win. So my definition of pay to win is you can only you need money to buy an item that gives you an advantage, and you can only get it with money, right? So in the Star Citizen universe, we're better. Like World of Tanks, they said we're not pay to win anymore. You have to pay money for a premium tank. Well, in ours, anything you can right now that people are backing for, you can earn in game with in-game credits. There is no two currencies, it's only just in-game credits. So all the items, all the ships are bought with in-game currency, even like flair and cosmetic items bought with in-game currency, and even there's items in the game that you can't actually buy, you'll have to go and do missions to earn. And so all you can use the money right now is back the game and maybe go down, get a spaceship, which gives you, it's basically letting you maybe start a little further up the tree, but it's not something that someone just starts with basically buys just the base game and flies around, builds up some money. They'll be able to get exactly the same ship. They have no advantage. And then on top of that, the other thing that you remember is this is a skill-based, like you fly. So it's not like a game you level up and get more skills and, I'm an 85 level paladin and I fight you and you're a 20th level, I will win that battle every single time. In this, actually, a lot of the piloting skill is as important as your ship, and the ships are also designed to be rock, paper, scissors. So you can have a really big ship and you can spend a lot of money on it and make a big tank, and it could be vulnerable to someone in a much more nimble, stealthy ship that's set up the ship completely different, and a better pilot would be able to win that fight. So for me, we're absolutely not pay to win, but there is definitely, I think, something that's called pay for convenience, which is, I know there's a lot of people that back the game. Now, we got people that have 40 hours a week to play a game, and we also got people that have got 5 hours a week because they played Wing Commander when they were a kid, but now they're grown up and they have a family and they've got a job and they've got a few hours to play, and maybe they just want to fly, get the Constellation and fly it with 3 of their friends, but they don't have 60 hours to be flying trading missions to earn enough money to get it. So we let them, right now they can basically back the game and get a little nicer ship, or they could, in the game they'll be able to buy some game credits with money. But we're still going to limit that. We're not going to let anyone just buy an infinite amount of credits. But we'll allow people to spend some money on credits. So if they just want to be concentrating on dogfighting and not worrying about like doing trading to earn money or anything, they can do that. But it's up to you. For me, if I was someone that played for free, I actually like to know that like I earn this ship, and this other guy spent, whatever it is, $100 for it. Like my time, I've made $100 in the game because I was willing to play it. So that's the way I look at it. So I don't view us as a pay to win at all. And all I'm going to say is, I'd like people to play it when they get there. I think they'll get the sense. I think it's a pretty fair system. It's the system that I like. I hate free-to-play games that force me to buy stuff. It really annoys me. I just give up on one of those when I play it. So that was my cardinal rule. I like everything has to be earned in-game, and you can just use money to maybe speed up some of it. But also the other thing that's really important is you don't make the beginning gameplay boring and frustrating to force people to spend money. That's definitely a no-no for me. In Privateer and in Freelancer, just early trading, flying around is fun, and that's exactly the same gameplay in Star Citizen. So
very good. I totally agree to that. Chris, thank you very much for this update on Star Citizen. It was great having you, and well, see each other on Gamescom.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, and thank you everyone out there that has backed Star Citizen. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Is that good?